Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome once again to the underground lair where we create robots, aliens, zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. Sometimes those zombies happen to be Miscrits, and this is one of those times. So we are going to do another Miscrit Zombie. This might be the last in the series. We might go back to doing more Miscrit mashups. We'll be doing something, I'm not exactly sure. But we wanted to do a couple Miscrit Zombies just to coincide with the Kickstarter I'm running, Young and the Dead. It's a comic book series that I created. It's on Kickstarter. This is the final week. So if you're thinking about backing, you might want to do it this week, because and there's lots of cool stuff that are added into that. I'll talk more about that as I do the drawing. But one of the things I want to mention, and I mentioned this before, but I'm not sure, I didn't get much comments about it, so I don't know if people understood. But so this is the one we did last week, or last time, maybe it was a couple weeks ago. I don't know, the Moomba Zombie. So this original art is going to find its way into one of the Kickstarter packages. So it could be you if you back it at a physical level. Also, meaning if you're having something mailed to you, a lot of you Miscrit fans are in other countries, so we've added a bunch of extras into the Kickstarter for international backers to kind of offset that printing cost. But you could wind up with this thing or the one I'm going to do today. So there's two chances to win out of that. So that's one thing. But let's think. What Miscrit? We had some suggestions. What Miscrit do we want to zombify this time? And so we got a suggestion from Ginny Marsala. I think that's how you pronounce the name. But the suggestion was Drowsy, which is sort of a sloth-type Miscrit that I actually I designed, and I like that idea. But I think we're gonna take it. That's the first evolution. Let's just go to the fourth evolution of Drowsy, which is Slothera. And there's some reasons behind kind of doing that. I think it'll work a little bit better for a zombie. So we're going to do that. Again, check out the Kickstarter. If you go to youngandthedead.com, I'll also put a link in the description. You can go check that out. And yeah, if you want to support us, that would be great. And you're going to get tons of cool stuff because we've already reached stretch goals. And pretty much any physical level, you're going to get a bunch of extras. So I think it's a really good deal. But you can check it out, see for yourself. But for now, let's get to the drawing board, and we're going to zombify Slothera. Okay, it is like super busy here in the art labs, but I wanted to get this Miscrit drawing out. I'm trying to put out like a couple of these a month, and again, because I am running the Kickstarter, and that's part of the problem why it's so busy, is managing a Kickstarter is a lot of work. And not only that, but I'm prepping for a comic convention that I have coming up. So I'm trying to get my booth in together and stuff like that. And I don't know if you guys, I know some of the Miscrit fans, I don't know if you're interested in this, but I did a series of videos a while back called Pro versus Con, which was like some tips for exhibiting at comic convention and anime cons and things like that. And I haven't done one in a while just because I haven't really exhibited and I've been concentrating on other stuff, but I think I'm going to probably do, I don't know, at least one, maybe a couple more in that series coming up if that's something you're interested in. But anyway, so back to the Miscrit. Of course, this is Slothera, and this is a Miscrit that I created, and I think it was one of the first. No, wait, what am I saying? For a minute, I was thinking that the nature Miscrits came later, but no, nature was one of the first elements. But so I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, I think I must have designed him around the same time that we introduced like the lightning and wind and earth elements, which were the three elements that kind of came later after fire, water, and nature. But anyway, so based on a sloth, obviously, and I think I'm the one that suggested the names for him. And now that I'm thinking, I named him this guy Slothera, but I should have just called him Slothera because that sounds like Mothra and it reminds me of Godzilla, but I don't know. There's probably some thinking behind it or something. But anyway, so we're gonna zombify this guy. Gonna have like one of his, you can see kind of right there, had one of his eyeballs kind of popping out, and the thing about him, he's the original anyway. He's got all these vines and stuff. He's like a kind of like a sloth that's made from, you know, he's got leaves and vines growing on him and everything. So with these leaves, I want to have them kind of withered and everything. I don't know if that'll come across. We'll see when we get to the color stage. But he's kind of entangled in these vines in the original interpretation. But in this one, again, since we're going with the zombies, we're going to get a little gross here and have some like lower intestines kind of spilling out, and kind of he'll be entangled in those. So you can probably see that a little more when I start coloring. But I'm breaking out my what was the name of this pen? I forgot. I just got it and I love it. But the zebra brush pen. So, because a lot of people ask what kind of brushes I use. So this is the zebra brush pen, and it works pretty good. For the most part, it works well with the alcohol-based markers like the Copics, and I also use Pantone Tria, and I use Spectrum Noir markers. I just use the combination of those three, and you know, I'm not really partial to, well, I am a little partial to the Copics. I think they're the better marker, but they're also really expensive, so I tend to mix and match and use all kinds and everything. But so I've got quite a few different things, and I'm going to try out some other newer alcohol-based markers that came out. But anyway, this zebra brush pen works really good with those. And then, you know, there were a few sketches for whatever reason that they kind of bled, and I don't know why that was with the Copics. But this one, I haven't had a problem with that in a little while. So I don't know, maybe that one that I did that bled a little, maybe I didn't leave it enough time to dry or something. But you can see the kind of that little cross hatching. It's a little confusing now. Hopefully, when I add the color, it'll make it, you know, a little easier to see. But this Miscrit to begin with is just kind of very confusing when you look at it. It's just a solid like one just line art because there's so many different leaves and things. And when we start adding, you know, muscle and torn tissue and guts spilling out, then it gets a little even more complicated. So, yeah, I apologize for it being a little out of frame. There we go. Sign my name. That means we're on to colors. So and this is the Pantone Tria. And I didn't know that they still made these, but I've seen people use them, so I think they do. I thought maybe they changed them around a little bit, but I think the new ones look similar. So I don't know where you would get them other than on the internet. I haven't seen them in any art stores or anything. They used to be fairly popular. And they're called Tria because they've got three different tips, sorry. They've got, like, on one side they have the big brush tip or chisel tip. And on the other side, it has just sort of a smaller tip. And then if you take the top part of that off, there's an even fine point tip. But that one's really useless because it never works. I mean, I've got like, you know, 50 or 60 of them, I think, and none of those little tips ever work. So it was kind of useless. So, you know, other ones like Copics, it really doesn't matter that they only have two tips because, you know, that third one never worked anyway. This is the Spectrum Noir marker right here. I've got a bunch of these that I got from work. A lot of the markers that I just kind of acquired, so I was lucky enough not to have to pay like full price because I either, you know, got them like, you know, off you know, secondhand or from a job that I did or whatever. So that is fortunate. But some of them are running out of ink, so I got to get some refills. The good thing is the refills aren't much more than the actual marker, and you can refill it, you know, a number of times. I don't know how many exactly, but so I'm just laying in all the green, and the rest of his body is kind of a beigeish color, which we'll see how that works because obviously the paper is that same beigeish color. But maybe we'll give it a little extra, you know, we'll leave some of the paper exposed and kind of add some shadows and things here. And this, of course, is the Copic. You're probably familiar with these if you've seen marker rendering videos. This is pretty popular right now, and again, they're the pricey ones, but they're, you know, top of the line. So Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the Kickstarter again. I know I mentioned it in the intro. This is the final week, so if you've been thinking about backing, check it out. You can go to youngandthedead.com. You can check it out. If you, like most Miscrit fans, if you're outside of the U.S., there's digital levels available. I think like a $10 digital one where you get all the comics, and there might be something before that. There might be a $5 one where you get the first issue. I'm not exactly sure, but if you do want to kind of bump up to that physical level, which I believe starts at $15 and up, it really is going to be worth it, because that extra, whatever, $20 that you're going to have to pay for shipping, any international shipping gets a print and some buttons. And on top of that, as I'm recording this, we've reached 2 stretch goals, and we're really close to the 3rd one, and I think we will hit it. So in that case, you're going to get a 3D print with 3D glasses. You're going to get, if we hit that 3rd one, which I think we will, a set of trading cards, and then 2 zombie stickers. And that's in addition to whatever you pledge at. That's in addition to the comics and all that other stuff. So it's really a pretty good deal. So if you're into comics, if you're into zombies, you might be, because you're watching this, it's a zombie miscrit, or maybe just into miscrits, I don't know. But yeah, so I just want to throw that out there one more time. And I think next time we do another video, we're probably going to be going back to mashups, maybe. So I don't know if we'll do any more zombie miscrits. So if you want to throw out suggestions, if we ever do, we can get back to that. But probably what I'm looking for is suggestions for more mashups. So if you want to send your mashup suggestions in, or who knows, we might do something altogether different. There may be some Miscrit news coming up. I'm not really sure. Some things are kind of being hinted around, so we'll see. Stay tuned for that. But right now I am just using my Uniball Sino. It's a white gel pen, and I just like to kind of go around these drawings and kind of pop them out. If you've seen any of the other Miscrit videos, you'll know that this is this is a staple of these videos, where I do this every time just to finish it up. I think it gives a kind of a, I don't know, I just like the effect. I've heard some people say they don't particularly like it, but it's my video, and I do. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Again, check out the Kickstarter at youngandthedead.com, and I'll see you guys later. That is all.